What's up, everybody? We just want to do a quick little video for what's next Wednesday. And what we want to talk about is what's going to happen with the meetup next week. We were scheduled to have the meetup down in the Irvington area, but with everything that's going on, we're going to do a little social distancing. And Brett and myself, we're just going to do a little video for our meetup next week. So our meetup on site is canceled, but what we'll be doing instead, we'll be putting out a video at 6 o'clock on our Facebook group page, just so we can talk about kind of what's going on there. We'll just do a video for it. So originally scheduled for the meetup, what we're going to kind of do, we're going to do our usual stuff, but then get into kind of the meat of it was going to be me interviewing Brett anyway. So it works out perfect with this format. But what we're going to be talking about is starting, building, and then scaling a wholesale business. So what better person to talk about that with than Brett right here. So Brett, I'll kind of let you do a little preview of, man, how did you get started in this? And we'll get into it more in depth next week, of course. But why don't you give us a little preview just how you got started in this business?
Oh, thanks, Brian. I'm going to give you a quick air, like high five, virtual, give you a virtual high five here. But no, yeah, thanks for just having me on and just being able to talk about this. So I love telling, it's kind of how I got started. My story takes me back to about 2007 and always kind of had the entrepreneurial heart. And I've done a lot of different things in my life when it comes to entrepreneur. Always want to kind of own my own business, and I started some small businesses, network marketing businesses, and buying and selling things on eBay when eBay was cool back in the day, and did some different things like that. But really got into real estate. My dad introduced me to a friend of his. He used to be a basketball coach with my dad, and he was buying and selling lands. Actually, that's how I first got introduced to real estate, buying and selling big piece of land down in southern Indiana, and I was a bird dog basically. So I would help him find, 10 acres, 50 acres, 100 acres, and he give me a fee, just like we do today, honestly, with kind of bird dogging, and that's how I got started. So started making some commissions off of that, and but never really wanted to work for someone. So I always had kind of that I would do something on my own. So I was always out there searching, reading, got a hold of a couple of books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and um, The Millionaire Next Door, and business books, things like that, and started scrolling through online. This was at the end of 2007, and started seeing really cheap houses, and I didn't really look at real estate that much, but I started seeing houses for $10,000 and 15,000, 20,000, and started asking myself, how can you buy a house for that type of price? There's just no way. So I started doing my due diligence, and we ended up buying one. I had about $5,000, and Dad had about $5,000. We bought a house for $9,000, and it was in Ohio, in Youngstown, Ohio. I drove out and didn't have any money to fix it up, so I started marketing it, and I sold it for 15,000, and so I made 6,000 on that one deal, which was awesome. I've never seen anything like that before. That type of money, right? And so just the light bulb went off, and I knew this was really cool. And I started said, hey, if we did this with one, can I do it with 1,000? And I think we've done, oh, I don't know, trying to count how many properties I think we flipped over the last 12, 13 years. Probably been 2,500, give or take. I'd say a couple hundred. So
There we go.
it's
So
been cool.
stumbling into it, no, like kind of basically wholesaling houses without even knowing what wholesaling was or anything. So very cool stuff. And I think one of my favorite stories about Brett is like he talks about that entrepreneurial spirit. He was like that kid like in school that would buy a pack of gum and then go to school and like sell the sticks off individually and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
this was back then. So next week we're gonna get into a little bit more of just how Brett started this business and just started building it and scaling it into what we're doing today when we're buying and selling over 30 properties a month. So check us out next week, 6 o'clock. We'll throw up the video on the Facebook group page, and we'll see you then. Take care.
See you guys.